Hi everyone, I'm Adam Raney. I'm here in Mexico City where I've been reporting for Al Jazeera English for 5 years. I've covered the country from nearly every state and traveled to other countries to report to. Walking to work through historic Roma Norte neighborhood, you're really treated to sights of beautiful old buildings like this one, but they're often next to quite shabby ones too. Time for an obligatory food shot, a typical Mexican breakfast. Huevos divorciados, café con leche, all served with chile. Enough food and art for now. I have all these receipts to go through at work, recent deployments. I keep a map up of Mexico to know where I'm going, and sometimes we just got to get dressed up to go live. We begin the day going through local news sites and papers to just see what stories in Mexico might have a resonance outside of the country. The big story today in Mexico is that the head of the state police for Veracruz, one of the most violent, corrupt states in the country, is stepping down after reports showed he owns several properties in the U.S. We've covered Veracruz state quite often on Al Jazeera, so with a story of this magnitude, we'll call the news desk and see if they want anything on this because it's an important story. I think we should mark this story about this Veracruz state police chief stepping down. It kind of gets to the heart of corruption and violence in Veracruz. You think that you guys could chew it over? The only thing I can really pitch though today are lives because our cameramen and camera women are all on assignment on other stories. One is even in Venezuela right now, so we don't have a lot of resources today. For a little context, let me show you where Veracruz state is. It's a hotbed of corruption and violent crime here in southeast Mexico. Lots of journalists have been murdered there. Journalism is about much more than just cribbing stories from the local press. We develop stories, look for new angles, try to cover things that other media aren't covering.
I'm reading about the story of mothers, Mexican mothers looking for their loved ones in different states in Mexico. It's a very interesting.
It's a trend we've seen many times before that family members are often the ones who do the most work to find their missing loved ones, and they have a lot of success, sometimes more than the government. And this particular story today is investigating what's sad is authorities say family members need to ask permission to look for their missing loved ones. It could take 12 months to get it. I just got an email from news editors that they're going to pass on our live right now because the programs are full with breaking news elsewhere. That happens a lot. Stories we care about and think are important just don't always make it in the show. Freed from live shots right now, that gives me time to take care of some errands for the Bureau and get out for a bit before we see if there's any other breaking news right now. And on Mexico City streets, there's always temptation, snacks for sale, botanas, fruit and vegetables from nice ladies selling on the street. Street taco stands like that one are full all day. It's tricky to not get into temptation because the street food in Mexico is incredible. We've gone mobile now. We're on Obrero Mundial, or Worker of the World. This is a main street in this part of Mexico City, and we're running those errands. They're done now. It's time for late lunch. Mexico City people typically eat between 2 and 4. I have a big lunch and then a light dinner. I'm back in Roma Norte. I'll show you some sights. On the street in Mexico, you see and hear art all the time. So even on a little lunch break, you get a sign of the culture. Here on the roof of the Bureau where we do live shots, you can get a sense of just how big the Valley of Mexico, Valle de Mexico, is. More than 20 million people, of course, live in the wider Mexico City area. That's it for me, Adam Raney, here in Mexico City. You can watch more at aljazeera.com, watch us on Facebook, Snapchat, yada, yada, yada. You can even follow me on Instagram, Adam Key Raney.